Hello, everyone. Welcome to This Day. It is Friday, February 4th. Now, we don't have any meetings to tell you about, but we'll just tell you who is on our show. Well, today we talked to Susie Bash, who is here on behalf of RadNet. And then we talked to Cindy, who is here on behalf of the Players Club. She goes over all the activities and great things that they do as a club. All right, let's take a look at our weather. Of course, gorgeous skies. We are looking at sunshiny days for the next few days. We are looking at 71-44 today, 72-43, 75-47, and then again 75-52, and then we jump up to 76-50. So we are getting warmer next week. And if you are traveling in the state of California or heading over to Vegas, take a look at these numbers. Local beaches 71-53, Santa Barbara 70-48, San Diego 67-50, Tahoe 44-16, still chilly, Mammoth 39-15, and Big Bear 46-22. It's getting nice and warm in Palm Springs, 76-51, and Vegas is still a little chilly at 66 with an overnight of 40. Our sunrise this morning was at 6:45, and our sunset will be at 5:25. And thank you, Mark, for sending in this great photo of that tram out in Palm Springs. If you have a photo that you would like to share with our community, please email it to lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. All right, stick around. We've got Susie Bash.
Under the RadNet umbrella, prostate imaging is one of our most important men's health initiatives. We have an exclusive team of prostate-dedicated radiologists that read thousands of images from all around the globe. These radiologists are utilizing advanced technologies such as prostate MRI, which offers some of the most detailed visual representations of the prostate gland. When it comes to men's health issues, listen to your body and take a proactive approach. Talk to your doctor, begin screening, and take charge of your health.
Welcome back. Well, today I am joined by Dr. Bash, who is here on behalf of RadNet. Well, Dr. Bash, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I have talked to RadNet in the past regarding artificial intelligence, and at that time it was just kind of a thought and they were thinking about incorporating it. But here we are, maybe a year or so later, and it is now being used. And even yourself, you said that you've been using it for some time now. So before we get into how it's being used, can you give me a background about what artificial intelligence really is?
Absolutely, yes. Artificial intelligence is thriving within RadNet and really throughout the world. So it's something we've heard a lot about recently. So artificial intelligence, or AI, is a means of using computers to enhance human thinking. And AI doesn't only allow thought augmentation, but it can also improve our efficiency, our work efficiency, our revenue, quality, accuracy, and even safety. And amazingly, AI algorithms can actually learn from their own mistakes and keep improving over time, which I think is just fascinating. So the more data you feed, the better it gets. So we want computers really to take us to a place that we can't go ourselves. You know, we'd like computers to really improve our lives, our health, and our happiness, but in a way that's safe and universally beneficial. And so basically, we want computers to augment human capacity. And AI is playing a very important role, but we didn't really hear about it 20 years ago. You know, we hear a lot about it now. And really the reason is the currency of computers, which is data. We now have so much more data. So computers achieve AI by a means of running data through large computer-generated neural networks. And computers are now sophisticated enough that they can analyze large volumes of high-dimensional data and recognize patterns. And amazingly, computers are actually much better at humans than recognizing patterns. And so computers can be taught to answer questions that enhance human capabilities. And this is really helpful in all areas. But for me personally, as a neuroradiologist, I'm really interested in its potential in improving medical imaging. So AI is really poised to revolutionize not just medicine, but really all occupational sectors throughout the world. So all areas of our lives which are impacted by technology will soon be transformed by AI.
Well, and I think that there is some worry regarding that. However, before we even address that, one thing I do want to address is how RadNet is actually using it. I mean, obviously it's used, as you mentioned, in radiology, but what does it do to help the radiologist to be able to identify certain things?
Yes, yes. So there are many different AI products on the market. RadNet uses AI products that work well in an outpatient setting. So I'm fortunate enough to work for a company that's actually the largest outpatient imaging enterprise in the United States, and they're very patient-centric and forward-thinking. So they've always been very open to AI, and they're using AI to improve. Well, we're all using AI to improve patient care. So I can give you some examples of what we do. For example, we use AI products to help us with billing on the front end, because that's something that's very labor intensive, and AI can help a lot with that. We work with a company, Philips. I'm sure you've heard of that. And we do a no-show program with them. It's sort of a pilot program. Helps us identify patients that are at risk for no-show, and we can give them a reminder call. We work with an AI company that allows an app on your cell phone to remind you of your annual mammograms. It can be very helpful. One of the most exciting things that we do with AI is we work with like a company called Subtle Medical Products, Subtle MR, and also some of the major vendors. GE has a product, and this uses AI to allow us to scan patients between, I would say, 45 to 75% faster, which is amazing because, patients don't really like, I mean, everyone, all of us generally will go through an MRI, at least one in our lifetime, but we don't really want to lie still in the magnet for 30 minutes. So we can get our patients out quicker than half the time now, but yet with improved image quality. So it's a win-win for patients who can get in and out quicker. It's better for the radiologist because they have better image quality, and it's better for the imaging facility efficiency. So that's a very exciting, I mean, that's going to revolutionize everything. I predict that every imaging center everywhere in the world will soon be using AI to do this kind of thing, because there's just no downside at all. And I personally have been using AI in my clinical neuroradiology practice for the last 14 years. So I work with Cortex and also another company, Icometrics. And these products, Cortex products, NeuroQuant and IcoBrain, I use these on patients that have potential dementia or seizures or multiple sclerosis or brain trauma. And what this does is it measures, it's called quantitative volumetric imaging. And all that means is it's measuring things in the brain and can compare that to a large normative database. So for example, as we age, we all, start to get memory loss, unfortunately, over time. And the question is that just normal aging, or could that be an emerging neurodementia syndrome like Alzheimer's disease? Mm-hmm. And so these products are very helpful. In fact, our neurologists, once they use them, they'll keep ordering them every single time for patients with these indications, because it will measure substructures of the brain that are pertinent to things like memory loss, which would be the hippocampi, and then compare that to a large normative database. So you know whether that degree of brain volume loss is just normal for age, or whether you're sort of outside of the norm for age, which may be an indicator that you're actually developing something like Alzheimer's disease. And so that is very useful. And they also have new developments where they help us to measure brain tumors and help in identifying strokes early, which can save lives. So that's a very exciting area. And then we also work with a company called Ezra, which can help detect prostate cancer early and measure tumors within the prostate. And then a very interesting new development, RadNet incorporated a company called Deep Health recently, and that helps in early screening for breast cancer on mammograms. Mm-hmm. It turns out, and this is just amazing, it's actually just came out in an article in Nature, but turns out that the AI algorithm can recognize breast cancer on a mammogram up to 2 years earlier than expert radiologists, which is just amazing. So radiologists can work together with this AI technology and really help save lives with it.
Wow, you're right. It definitely will be changing all aspects of our world, I think, as a whole. So that is absolutely amazing. Now, of course, as I mentioned earlier, there are some concerns about that. I mean, maybe a radiologist would say, well, gosh, if that's going to do that for us and for our patients 2 years in advance, well, then what am I really still needed? I think a lot of people are worried about that.
Yes, that's an excellent question. And it's actually a question I get a lot. And so the answer to that is really no. AI is an outstanding tool, but it really remains just that. It's a tool. So AI enhances medical providers' abilities, but it can't replace that human interaction. Although AI is better at pattern recognition, humans are really better at global reasoning. So no radiologist that I'm aware of has ever lost a job to AI, and I don't anticipate that they will in the near future. It's really designed to work hand in hand with humans. So that humans do what they're good at, AI does what it's good at, and to finding that we can do extraordinary things when we work together with AI. So, as the population ages and more of us are needing imaging for their health workup and for diagnosis and for treatment planning, we're finding that AI can really improve medical imaging in all areas. So it's a welcome addition. It's not something to be afraid of. RadNet always, before we ever adopt a new AI product, we always confirm its efficacy and also its safety before we ever use it with patients.
That's good to know. And then, of course, you said it's already being used now. So what would be the future of AI for RadNet?
Well, the future is really it's going to continue growing. There are new AI products that are coming out all the time. It happens to be a passion of mine, so I'm very involved with the industry and always watching out for things. But it's something that we are going to be using more and more in a way that is, when we find things that are beneficial to patients, then we're going to start using it. And, AI products, there are certain products that we don't use so much at RadNet, but that are extremely helpful, like in a hospital setting where you have more acute critical findings. So AI products, for example, triage products, identify neck fractures and pulmonary embolisms, which is a clot in your arteries in your lungs that can cause you to stop breathing, and other things like that. It can identify that earlier, like brain bleeds, and then mark those studies stat. So they reviews the images before it ever gets to the radiologist. And then when the radiologist pulls up their work list, they see a stat study that the AI has said, okay, hey, listen, there's something abnormal here. Look at this quickly. And then we can then call the team and interpret it. And again, that can help save lives. And with the strokes, we've now found that this AI technology, not only does it find, so a stroke is basically where you have a blood clot that, blocks an artery in your brain and then causes those brain cells to die. It's very, very important on the timing for strokes. You want to treat immediately because we can actually really help. For every 1 minute you go without blood flow to your brain, we actually lose 1.9 million brain cells. Wow. So this AI technology will find the clot, and within 6 minutes, it will actually, this particular product I'm talking about, will alert the entire stroke team. So the neuroradiologist, the neurologist, the interventionalist, everyone, and we can get that patient on the table, put in a clot retrieval device and remove that clot, and the patient can wake up perfectly normal again. And so there are very, very exciting ways that AI is helping to save lives. And that's just going to keep getting better and better as technology improves and that, innovation improves.
Wow. Well, that is certainly a lot of information. And I mean, I really enjoyed hearing all of that. And I look forward to learning more, which is great. And you're a wonderful speaker. So thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
All right. And we'll be right back after this.
At the Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback, you will always find a friendly face to guide you through your annual mammogram visit. Our staff, dedicated subspecialist breast radiologists, knowledge, and innovative technology await your visit to our center. With the Laguna Woods shuttle service right at our sidewalk, this convenient location offers you quick access for your appointment. You can expect nothing but the best for all your breast health needs at Memorial Care Breast Center, Saddleback.
Welcome back. As I mentioned, we have Cindy Stratzman here, who is here on behalf of the Players Club. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us, and Happy New Year.
You too.
So very exciting. We came across your club on the website, the Laguna Woods Village website. And it said the Players Club. I'm like, well, what does the Players Club mean? Because, you know, it could mean a lot of different things. But what I loved is that you guys do bingo and you have casino games. So just tell me a little bit about the club and how it came about.
Well, it's a nonprofit organization, and we needed bingo in the village. It started a long time ago. I can't even tell you how long ago. And we play bingo on the second and fourth Tuesdays of every month.
Okay.
And we have a membership dinner one evening a year
Okay.
in November to sign up for next year's membership.
Okay.
And we go on trips. We go to Laughlin
Okay.
for 3 days, 2 nights, a couple of times a year.
All right.
And we go to local casinos.
Okay.
And so we're looking forward to that again in 2022.
Yes. Yes.
And so those are, and usually we'll do one other trip, the Reagan Library, the Nixon Library. We've done exhibits that are at the California Science Center. Just usually do one of those kind of trips a year as well.
Well, you know, if you go up to the one up north, the Reagan one, you could go just a little farther to Chumash.
There you go.
Right? Because
Exactly.
they have that casino up there, which would be fun. So when you talk about like casino games, it's just any kind of casino game? Like, do you play the casino games at the homes or in a clubhouse, or is the casino only during travel?
It's only on trips.
Okay. Okay. So people, you get like a bus, or how does that work?
Yes, we rent a big bus, and the casinos help us so we can keep the cost down.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So, because to rent a big bus right now would be really expensive.
Exactly.
So the casinos are helping us. So yeah, we try to fill up the bus so that the casino will help us.
Okay.
And yeah, we have a really good time.
So how many people do you have in your club?
We have, well, in 2020, we had about 120 members. You don't have to be a member to come and play bingo.
Okay.
There are advantages to being a member.
Right.
It's very inexpensive for a club. It's only $10 membership for a year.
Okay.
The membership is January to December.
Okay.
You get discounts on travel. And there are raffle prizes for during bingo
Okay.
that are only available to members.
Oh, I see. So that is a good advantage. Now we're showing this slide right now about the bingo because obviously casino games, as you said, are just per travel, but the bingo is twice a month. Now, is this traditional bingo, or do you do lots of different games within the bingo itself?
We have a set of games that we
Okay.
play every time,
Okay.
but we have some specials, and one of them is different every time.
Okay.
But on our flash board, for where the numbers come up on the screen, we show the pattern for every game,
Okay.
so that if you're not familiar with it, you know, everybody knows what, well, no, maybe they don't. A layer cake is the entire top row, the middle row, and the bottom row.
Ah.
So, and then the letter P is all of the B's, and then across the top, and then across the
so
middle.
that is a lot harder, I suppose, than just doing, you know, cross that way. It's a little bit more numbers.
Exactly.
Okay, okay.
And, but it's a lot of fun. We have a really good time.
Now, you mentioned that you have prizes. So how does, if somebody wins a bingo, is it within the specific game that you have chosen that they get prizes, or how does that work?
Well, there's a buy-in,
Okay.
and the specials cost money too.
Okay.
But the prizes are based on how many people we have playing.
Okay.
So it's different every time. The drawing, the raffle prizes are, members get a raffle ticket, and during this, in the middle of, between the first and second session, we do a drawing.
Okay.
And people can either win a $10 buy-in or daubers.
Ah.
So we have 2 buy-ins and 2 daubers each session.
And what is a dauber?
That's the ink
Oh, the
thing.
daubers. Oh, gotcha. The ink. I got it. I had not heard of it, what it was called.
That's
so
right.
Gotcha. It's it's your marker.
That's right.
You call it. It's a dauber. All right, good. That sounds like fun. I mean, the fact that you have that many people. Of course, 2021. What did you guys do with lockdown in 2020? Did you do stuff online?
No, we didn't. But there was a point where I kept calling recreation and calling and calling and calling. And finally, somebody called me back and said, okay, we could do some bingo outside.
I do remember that, yeah.
And so we did, and it was a lot of fun. It wasn't quite the same.
Right.
We couldn't do as many games, and the equipment didn't like going inside and outside. It didn't like it, but it was better than nothing. And because there were recreational activities for people who do a lot of physical activities.
Right.
But those people who don't swim and run and lift weights and that kind of thing, they really needed something more mental stimulation. And so they got that opportunity to play bingo.
Okay, that's great. But now, of course, you guys are back in business.
We're back in force.
Good. So you've got two bingos per month. And then when are you planning your next trip?
We haven't yet because we're struggling with the casinos because of COVID.
Sure.
So they're not sure when they're going to do it again.
Oh, okay.
And so that's kind of what we're waiting for. In December, we got to go to Laughlin.
Okay.
And that worked out really well. We had a full bus.
Great.
And yeah, we actually had a waiting list.
Oh, great. So people they're itching to get out. So
They
you can
are.
just get those casinos to cooperate. That'll be awesome.
That's what we need.
Now, you said you were a nonprofit organization, and so you have charities that you give money to. Who are your charities?
Well, our favorite charity is New Alternatives.
Oh.
And they help people who grew up or are living in abusive situations.
Okay.
They help people get on their feet, get mental help, and that kind of thing. And so when we play bingo, when people win, a lot of times they'll give back $5 or $10, and so that's a donation to New Alternatives.
Okay, gotcha.
So, and then we also, if we have leftover money from each bingo game, we give that money to other charities like Laguna Woods Foundation,
Great.
Wounded Warriors, the Florence Sylvester Senior Center. So we are totally nonprofit. We don't keep money. We give them to our charities.
That's great. That is nice. And you guys, you said have you been doing the charities as many years as the club's been around, or is that just something that happened
I
recently?
wasn't around when it first started, but
Okay.
my guess is because it's a 501c7
Yeah.
that we have no choice.
Perfect. Well, no, that's good. That's great because you're helping people out in the community, and many of the ones that you've mentioned, people are very familiar with. But the New Alternatives is what you called it?
Right.
That one I had not heard of, so we appreciate you telling us about. Well, how fun. Well, it sounds like you guys have a load of fun. And of course, you're going to start your bingo up here in just in a week or so. So good luck. Have a great time, and hopefully you'll get lots of people.
There you go, and win.
And win, win, win.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. And if you want more information about the Players Club and when the next bingo is, you can call the number on our screen. We'll be right back.
Super Immunity, powered by Source, is the first of its kind water-soluble, vitamin-fortified, drinkable supplement. These perfectly balanced liquid vitamins are delivered with 25 milligrams of hemp extract. What does that mean for you? It means zero THC, no sugar, and no calories. Super Immunity is water-based, not oil, so your body gets the full effect of your vitamins and anti-inflammatory hemp without the compromise. Now you can stay active and do what you do best. Take your best shot, morning, afternoon, or night.
All right, we have a movie for you today, and it is called Just Mercy, and you can catch that today, and that is brought to you by Hogue. All right, just a couple of announcements that we'd like to go over with you. That Age Well is hosting Dr. Trin, and he is going to be at the Florence Sylvester Senior Center. And if you would like to participate with that, you do need to reserve your seat. So you need to contact the Senior Center at 949-380-0155. And he is going to be talking about the mind-body connection. And we've talked to so many people about how important it is for your mind to function and keep it healthy. And, you know, obviously he is going to touch base on how that works. Then we've got a meeting on February 8th, which is next Tuesday. And that is going to be through the Hearing Loss Association of America, which was formerly the Hearing Well Club. And if you would like to participate with that, it is a Zoom meeting, and you can contact Tony Barriant. You can phone or text her at 949-614-5307, or you could send her an email at tony@hlaamv.org. Now, we've got OC of OC at the Performing Arts Center, and that is going to be Saturday, February 12th, at 3 p.m. And you can get tickets for that through recreation at vmsinc.org. And we also have a corporate meeting that is going to be coming up, and that is going to be next week. And that is going to be live right here on Village Television on Friday, February 11th at 9:30 in the morning. So that will immediately follow our morning broadcast of this day, and we will have replays February 22nd and February 24th. So you might want to catch that. All right, one last thing. Grand jury has extended their deadline to February 24th. So you are able to participate. So you need to apply and get all your information at ocgrandjury.org or call 657-622-6747. All right, let's take a look at our weather. Beautiful, gorgeous, warm days ahead, so it's looking really nice. Great time to get outside, take a nice walk along our creek. 71-44, 72-43, 75-47, then 75-52, and warming up next Tuesday, 76-50. Around California and Vegas, 71-53, Santa Barbara 70-48, San Diego 67-50, Tahoe, Mammoth, and Big Bear all in the low 40s to mid 40s. Overnights 16, 15, and 22. Palm Springs 76 and Las Vegas 66. Have a great Friday. We'll see you again tomorrow right here on Village Television at 9 a.m. Have a great Friday. Bye-bye.